fast-spreading coronavirus subvariant threatens to bring yet another surge in COVID cases here to America. The subvariant, called BA.2, is more contagious than the original Omicron variant, and it is rapidly spreading in parts of Asia and Europe. It now makes up about a quarter of cases here at home, and it could explode just in time for spring allergy season, of course, so some of those symptoms can feel a lot like COVID. Dr. Celine Gounder is an infectious disease specialist, editor-at-large for public health at Kaiser Health News, and she joins us now for more. Dr. Gounder, thank you for being here. A lot of Americans have immunity because of a booster or because they had Omicron, and a lot of Americans are just done overall. They don't want to think about it. So with those two thoughts in mind, how concerned should people be?
We are seeing an uptick of coronavirus in the wastewater, so that's your sewage water. So we know that there is increasing transmission across the country. The real question is, does that translate into severe disease, hospitalization, and death? And that really depends on if people are vaccinated and boosted, if they've had a recent infection, so say over the holidays with Omicron, they probably have some protection from that. And if they're elderly or immunocompromised, they certainly are at higher risk.
So does it make sense to lift the mask restrictions if you know that there's an uptick coming?
I think people should be aware, just like we saw on the morning news today, the pollen count in the community. I think similarly, we should have maybe a wastewater surveillance count as to, yes, we're seeing this increase. Maybe you should think about taking a mask with you, just like you think about taking that umbrella.
Now, Tony mentioned allergies. Spring is here, and for millions of Americans, including myself, that brings those seasonal allergies. How do you know the difference? Because we were at a point, we were just talking about this during the commercial break, where a sniffle in public will get you a crazy look from somebody standing next to you. So how do we know the difference between seasonal allergies and someone that may have symptoms?
The fact is, you can't tell the difference without a test. Like, I can't tell you.
That's not
helpful.
helpful.
Come to see me.
That's not helpful, Celine.
You need to take a test. So, you know, you can have the sniffles, you can have the cough, you can have a sore throat. It could be from COVID, it could be from the flu, it could be from seasonal allergies. So if you have those symptoms, just take a test.
Just take a test.
Yeah, and how often do you think you should be getting tested?
I think it all depends on what your exposures are, what your risks are. But if you think you've had a high-risk exposure, if you have symptoms, absolutely go and get a test.
Pfizer. Oh, go ahead.
And if you test positive, do you need to quarantine? Do you need to lock yourself up for...
The UK model is very different. They don't have to quarantine at all, right?
Yeah.
It's voluntary there.
So if you test positive, or they leave it to your own personal responsibility. I don't like that.
Is it like the honor system?
Yeah, because I don't think the honor system works, frankly.
Well,
so
I mean,
if you
that's...
test positive,
what
do you
is the
think?
new normal? We don't really know. Everybody has their own definition.
Exactly.
Right. Well, and the honor system is the reality that we're living with. You know, what would I say? Be responsible. Don't expose other people. That might mean you wear a mask to work. That might mean if you can stay home from work, you stay home.
All right. Pfizer and Moderna both asking for approval for a fourth round of boosters. Former FDA Commissioner Scott Gottlieb says this is going to be an annual thing. You agree?
So with respect to the boosters, we don't really have good data to support 18 and over, everybody getting a booster. I think it probably makes sense for the elderly, highly immunocompromised, certainly. And as to whether a yearly booster makes sense, it really depends on if COVID becomes seasonal, because you really get maximum benefit from that booster on top of just already being vaccinated for about 3 to 4 months. So if it's a year-round virus, it may not make sense to go with a yearly booster.
Celine, I've seen people with their arms folded going, I'm not getting a fourth booster. This is now the pharmaceutical companies trying to make money. What do you say about that?
There is a degree to that in terms of how broadly they're trying to go with fourth boosters. Moderna has applied for everybody 18 and over. And again, there's not data to support that broad of a recommendation.
Yeah, it'd be a booster for the bank account.
There you go.
All right, Dr. Gounder, we appreciate it. It's a complicated new stage. Do you think we're in that endemic stage yet? The emergency's over?
We are not endemic yet. I would say the emergency is ending, but endemic means your levels are much more predictable, and we're not there yet.
I see the light, though.
We're getting
the light
there.
at the end of the tunnel.
We're kind of getting there. All right, Dr. Gounder, thank you very much. Appreciate it.